Here we are. Welcome back to the channel, and what a way to end an epic season, as this is the last race of the Vibe League Championship here at the one and only Nordschleife 24-hour layout. With the race settings, we have tyre wear, fuel wear, and also rain 100% due at some point during this race, so stay tuned. It's going to be absolute chaos. As we managed to qualify in second place with our lapping qualifying on pole position. So towards the end of lap 1, I'm just going to show you some highlights of this race. We managed to get in the slipstream of lapping and take the lead just at the end of that lap. You can see now the GTR is pulling a little bit of a gap with Sorte in P3. The GTR is definitely working well, especially on the curbs, and as we all know, in order to get a good time around the Nürburgring or to push, using the curbs is absolutely essential. So coming towards the end of lap 3, we're still in the lead, but you can see now the tyre wear kicking in and also running low fuel. So pretty much the whole field now looking to pit at the end of lap 3, but keeping an eye on that weather radar. And this is such a difficult decision to make, as you can see the rain's slightly coming, and with the speed rate of times 24, if the rain's there, it's going to come fast. You can see the pit stop, everyone pretty much pitting, lapping actually saving a bit more fuel. But decision time, do we go for inters or do we go for another lap on the mediums? We decided in the end to go for mediums, and myself and Lappin actually having the same plan. We just put enough fuel in for one lap, so we didn't want to stay in the pits too long and fill the car full of fuel, because we're not sure entirely when this weather is going to come. So this is hammer time at the minute. We need to get around this lap as fast as possible, as it's a risk. We just don't know when that rain is coming. And when you get caught half around the track, it's going to be absolute game over. But you can see now, just to make things worse, the night is falling as we go sideways, drifting around that corner. That's how much we're pushing to try and get on this lap as fast as we can before that rain arrives. But a bit further on in the lap, you can see we're 4 minutes and almost 4 minutes 30 into the lap. And you can see the rain now is here. And this is where the race turns on its head. Slick tyres, wet track is a recipe for disaster, not where you want to be. As we have a quick look at the map at the top random corner, we're just about halfway around the lap, and now we're in full survival mode to try and make it back to the pits and get a sense of these intermediate tyres on. But this is going to be so tricky in these conditions. Try not to push it. One little mistake and you're in the barrier. As you can see now, we're absolutely crawling around. Look at this. We're not even reaching 100 miles an hour, but barely at all down these straights. And it's so difficult when you're on these slick tyres on such a wet track. The car just does not want to turn at all, so full traction control to help us. You can see behind Sorte actually put the intermediate tyres on. You can see even with those inters on, struggling to keep it on the track, and that's how treacherous these conditions are. As you look behind, you see the rain pelting down and Grenston now hunting down Sorte. Put on the left-hander. Sorte again struggling to keep it in a straight line on the Alpha. Grenster now on a charge on those intermediate tyres. But we've got our hands full to try and make it all the way back to the pits if we can. And towards the end of the lap, somehow we've managed to keep it on the track. So look behind, Grenster's charging through on those inters. But with one more corner to go, oh, look at that sliding down the corner. We have to make the pit to get these inters on. But as you can see, as Grinster now takes the lead, lapping in front pits as well. We've lost the pit stop in effect because the guys in front have already put those intermediate tyres on. So we come out now in P6 and lapping just in front, and the top 4 guys actually putting the intermediate tyres on the lap before. So yeah, we've got our work cut out for us now. We've lost around about 25 seconds and probably more in that pit stop. But now we face probably the hardest challenge on this game. Nordschleife in the rain at night. Let's see how we get on. As you can see now, the battle for the lead, the top 3. Only around about a second and a half between the top 3. You've got Grenster, Jake and Sorte challenging for that position. As you scroll through the guys, you can have a look at the tyre wear. As these guys pitted the lap before when the track was pretty much half dry. You compare that to lappings now, absolutely no tyre wear whatsoever. So this could pay dividends towards the end of this race. The tyre wear could kick in. We're going to see how that pans out shortly. As lap 5, we're on board of Jake. See Grenston now going wide. So the change for the lead as Jake now takes the lead. Grenster now in second and Sorte in third place. Coming towards the end of lap 5, lapping now on a charge with those tyres, taking Chris on this back straight, and lapping now, chasing down the top 3 guys, trying to get that podium position back if you can. Not going to be easy with only 50 minutes left of the race. As we skip forward now, we're in the daytime, and you can see Grenster coming around his double right hand. Jake actually running wide into the grass, just missing out, and Sorte behind on the grass in the barrier. So these 3 still battling with only about 12 or 13 minutes to go left in the race. And with lapping action now, chasing down those top 3 guys, we know that we've got to follow suit if we've got any chance of trying to get a podium. We're coming down the inside of Chris' double right hand there. A bit of a risky move, but we have to make it. We've got to try and follow lapping as much as we can and use the best of these tyres before they'll wear out. But you can see now there's a dry line as well appearing. So these are really tricky conditions when they're in between wet and dry. The minute you can see it's still very damp, but that dry line is becoming ever more visible. So the top 3 now becomes a top 4 battle, with lapping now right behind Jake. And that's going to pull us along nicely as well. As we go on board with ourselves, you can see now the top 4 just in front. I think we're all covered by around about 3.5 to 4 seconds maybe, which is crazy when you think we've done 50 minutes around here in the dark, in the rain. They touch that curb, come to right hander and almost lose it. That's how much they're pushing. And that's just a reminder of how damp this track actually still is. We approach this right hander before this long back straight, and you can see the drying line, and that's what we want to try and keep it in. You can see just in front, a couple of people running wide, lapping being one of them, scraping the barrier, and that's going to cost him dearly as he loses all that run now on the back straight. So we're keeping our tyres cool, take that 4th place from lapping, and there's only 1 lap to go when we cross the line. So this is decision time once again. Look at those tyres. Do we pit? Do we not pit? Are these tyres going to make it around 1 more lap? You're going to lose around about 25 or 26 seconds or something like that for a pit stop. There's no need to refuel, so it's just a tyre change. And this was literally a last minute decision as the top 2 go into the pits. We're going to follow them into the pits and change our tyres. If we look behind, lapping stays out. So we've done the opposite of what we've done, and the race is on as lapping now crosses the line to start his final lap of the race. Now this is the question: can he make these tyres last 1 more lap around the Nürburgring by using these wet lines? And can we catch that deficit that we lost, which is going to be around about 25 seconds ish? But it's going to be difficult for us. You can see him come out the pits on his slick tyres. It's still so damp. Sorte almost losing it going into the damp stuff, and that's what you want to avoid. We need to keep this on the dry line. Half a metre over that wet line, and it's game over. As you can see now, the leaders, we're going to show the gap now to the chasing pack, is just over 26 seconds. And for every corner that Lappin's doing, that tyre wear is decreasing corner by corner. As Lappin and Grenster now going side by side for the lead, trying to get a move on because I know that the hunting pack are coming, which is myself, Jake and Sorte hunting the leaders down. Last lap battle to come through the fast chicane. You can see Sorte just in front, catching a slight bit like curb, drifting and can't catch it, and Sorte off again, and a bit of luck, and that's how easy it is. Even if you go half metre off that dry line, it's treacherous conditions, really difficult to control, and so easy to make a mistake. As you come around this right hander, you can see there's a yellow flag just in front. We're going to stop it there, and that is Jake again. I think has caught a bit of the damp line and spun and just give us enough room to go through. How lucky was that? Not often you see a car facing the opposite way there, but just got away with that. Now we're in a podium position, hunting down Grenster and Lappin. As we look at the gap now, so it was just over 26 seconds. The gap now down to 9.24. With only just over a quarter of a lap to go, this is going to be tight. As we look ahead now to Grenster. Grenster on those worn intermediates, goes wide, touches a bit of the damp stuff, and again, that's another position that we gain. With a minute, we're so lucky. 3 people go off just in front of us, so we're not wasting any time trying to overtake. But now we've got to drive sensibly, stay off those curbs, because we know how damp they are, so we come around these quick S-bends. Normally you can really launch it over the curbs here. but we've got to be careful and drive sensibly. As you see, Lapin's tyre wear absolutely gone now. He's got nothing left in these tyres. No need for a countdown timer. You can see us right in the background approaching Lapin towards the end of this lap. And this has been an absolute charge as you've caught up right to the back of Lapin. We're still going to make the pass though. And we know how damp or treacherous the conditions are offline, so we're going to try and keep it on the dry line if we can. So we're going to mount the curb a little bit side by side. You get a nice run out that corner, and that's it, a pass for the lead towards the end of the race with only a few corners to go. And with those intermediate tyres now dead, it should be pretty much in the bag as long as you drive sensibly on the last part of the lap. This is the most bizarre accident. If you look at these three, still battling. You've got Jake going wide, Sorte switching Grenster, everyone hitting everyone. Don't really know where to start with that. Sorte doing a lovely pirouette and still going around in the background, so not having the best time in these conditions. You see Grenster's tyres now absolutely gone as well. Nothing left in those intermediates, which is going to let Jake easily pass him down the inside on those fresh set of mediums. But that's how close the call was. I mean, it's come down to a matter of seconds at the end of this race. And that call by Lapin could have gone either way, but luckily for us, we made the right call in the end. We had pretty much everything thrown at us but the kitchen sink. Racing in the day, the night, the dry, the wet and the night. Pretty much everything you can think of. But we come across the line to take the win in the end of the last race of the season. What an epic race and epic season it's been. And thank you for all the organisers of this event. And thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed this crazy race. And I'll see you all on the next one. Laters.